This is Dr. Hager, and she is the Math Bridge instructor. And so I have asked her to come here as a personal favor because I know we as a group of the Cambridge students kind of struggle with solving these type of problems here, where we're using energy and we're trying to solve for wavelength or Planck's
all of
constant.
The letters. Where there's all of the letters.
Where there's variables. And so I've asked her to help kind of as a personal favor to show us how to approach this from a math perspective, so maybe that this will help out a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And
So
my go-to strategy, absolutely. And my go-to strategy here is to, like, this problem is really hard that's on the screen right now. HC over lambda is equal to E, and you have to solve it for H, and there's so many letters. And I'm like, always try to cook up an example from, like, basic algebra that's easier, that doesn't have so many letters, that has mostly numbers, okay? So here's our problem that we're working with. We have the equation is H times C over lambda is equal to E, and what we're trying to do is isolate H. We're solving for H. The goal is to have just H on one side and whatever on the other side. Okay, so a similar problem to that, in my mind, is something like this.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you have 2x over 5 equals 6, and, like, everybody knows that what you want is just x, and then we don't care on the other side. So what we're going to do is walk through a solution of that problem on the right, and, like, it should lead us to a solution. Like, instructions. Instructions for the hard problem, right? Okay, so most people would know that you want to get rid of the 5, that the x is trapped by the 5. We're divided by 5. To get rid of it, you do the opposite. Always do the opposite. So we're going to multiply by 5 on both sides. And so that's going to cancel the 5s on the left. You get 2x equals 30. Right, all right? Okay, and then the x is trapped by the 2. It's multiplied by 2. Do the opposite. And that means divide.
Love that. Do the opposite.
Always do the opposite and do it to both sides.
Yes, okay.
Okay. So now you know your answer. And now looking on the left here, like, we're trying to get the H. We know we want the H. The H is trapped by the lambda. It is divided by lambda, and that means we must multiply by lambda. And so that is how you see what the first step should be. And then the lambdas cancel, and you get H times C is E times lambda. The H is trapped by C now. H is multiplied by C. And then we have to divide.
Do the opposite.
Always do the opposite.
Oh, I love that trick.
Boom, the problem is done.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I have another one.
Okay, let's do another one.
Okay. It's really similar, but what if you had that same equation?
They will have to do this. Okay, this is perfect. Thank you.
It's, like, gross, because, like, the lambda's on the bottom.
I know.
And you're like, I don't even know what to do. Okay, so I have actually 2 different ways to see it.
Okay.
Again, here's your equation, and here's, like, a similar equation where you know you need to isolate the x, but the x is on the bottom, and that's just, like, really gross. One way of seeing this is that to get rid of the x on the bottom, you actually multiply both sides by x, and that makes the x be on the numerator of the other side. And that makes the equation look much easier, and then you know how to isolate x. Okay, so there's the second way. Flipping both sides upside down.
Okay.
I've met enough students who've learned it this way that I want to explain this.
Okay.
So the left side says 20 over x, and you see the right side as being 30 over 1.
Right.
And you actually just take the reciprocal of both sides. You actually just flip both sides upside down, and you get x over 20 is equal to 1 over 30. Right?
Yes.
And that makes it look easier. And then you multiply by 20, you have your answer.
I love that.
I know, right?
Yes, they
All
should
right.
be able to do that.
So again, let's do it both ways with the hard problem. The first way was, like, this is the guy you want, and we're going to multiply both sides by that guy, because having your winner variable, your goal, having that in the denominator is, like, gross.
It's the scariest thing.
That's horrible. So we need it to not be in the denominator, so we're going to multiply both sides by lambda, and then boom, H times C is E times lambda. And again, just like the last problem, you're like, I want lambda. Lambda is trapped by E. It's multiplied by E. That's how you know you're supposed to divide by E. And then, boom.
Boom.
Lambda, HC over E. Right. Okay, so the other way is you could start by flipping both sides upside down. And this is what that looks like, okay?
Oh, that's so much easier.
This used to say HC over lambda. Now it says lambda over HC. And this is a little tricky. You're supposed to see this as E over 1, and then it turns into 1 over E.
So that's the hard part. That's
exactly.
just the one
like,
thing.
Remembering that it's E over 1.
Okay, so everything when it's by itself is over 1,
yes.
right? And so you can just flip it, and then boom, 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 we're at the end.
Everything has a reciprocal no matter what. Except for 0, I
I know. Well, let's not
Whatever.
talk about
Let's
that.
not talk about
Don't worry.
So there is that problem. problem solve two different
Oh,
ways.
thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That is
Yeah.
great. So, okay, so we learned that we need to do the opposite
Always
of
do the
whatever it
opposite.
was. And
Do
then
it on both sides.
On both sides.
Yeah.
And then we also could do the flipping trick where if we just remember it's over 1, we take the inverse, and then bada bing, bada boom.
Makes
We've got
sense.
chemistry from a math perspective.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. Take care of yourself. Drink water.